Thank you so much, players, and thank you, Fort Worth. The crowd is electric in here right now, and why wouldn't they be? The Grand Finals is upon us. Spacestation versus Optic Gaming, a rematch. The last time we saw these in a Grand Final, it was the Halo World Championship.
That's right. To have these two teams back on the main stage is something special. And let's also not forget that last rematch in the Grand Finals was also the last time we had a Grand Finals reset as well.
It was indeed. So a lot to look forward to. We've already seen the matchup, of course, in the tournament. That went all the way down to a Game 5 as well. And I mean, this is just a fascinating story of two very difficult roads for both of these teams that they've had to come through. Spacestation on our screen, it's been that elimination bracket run. They have played so much Halo today, but they are here in the Grand Finals. For Optic Gaming, it's been a road maybe more difficult away from the events, where they've had disappointing result, but now they are back in the final looking to right the ship.
Difficult roads in Charlotte, without a doubt. Let's take a look at the series layout here, and guess what? 7 games on your screen, because we're in for an extended series in your Grand Finals. We are standing room only here in Fort Worth. Everyone here this weekend packed around the main stage and ready for that game number 1, King of the Hill on Recharge. Fascinating
series layout in front of us as well, because just to give you a bit of background and some stats coming into this one, you're looking at King of the Hill Recharge. It is an Optic Gaming heavy game type, but Spacestation have been so good in their first game of the series they've played so far in this tournament. So the stats almost counterbalance each other, as into who's going to be expected to take this one home.
They really do. And let's also not forget, SSG looking to go back-to-back here in this tournament. Optic has gone back-to-back in Halo Infinite. FaZe has gone back-to-back in Halo Infinite. How fitting would it be for SSG to go back-to-back just before the Halo World Championship?
Well, these two players on your screens are ones to keep eyes on. You can see similar statistics form the standout for Optic Gaming so far, but Pznguin has had his best tournament I have seen in so long. He has been electric so far in Fort Worth as we head towards game number 1. Here we go then, Fort Worth. It's a Sunday night. You know what that means. It's Grand Finals time.
Let's not forget the last time we saw these two teams play in this tournament alone, it went to a game number 5, a 50-47 game number 5. We are undoubtedly in for a treat here in your Grand Finals at the Fort Worth Major.
TriPPPeY going to get that nice kill early on, but under a lot of pressure at the moment, but he comes out of it, not only with the camo, but with a double kill himself, still with shield, still inside of that hill, and what a start this is for Optic Gaming, getting hold of that power-up, and most importantly, a little bit of early hill time as well.
TriPPPeY playing this slow, knows he has a lot of responsibility, and really nicely isolates that 1v1. Here he comes around the corner again.
Eco flying in, has that repulse, which just helps him out of that situation. As soon as he saw the flare of the camo, he knew that he could just send him back into the nether realm. And now it takes on APG as well. A little bit of help comes in there from Pznguin. As now we see Spacestation just eke out a little bit of a lead. Optic Gaming trapped on the respawn by the pipes.
How fitting is it with the chaos of this season and this event that here we would be, these two teams, your Halo World Championship Grand Finals in 2022. These two teams back on your main stage in the Grand Finals. It feels like all things were pointed this way regardless of how the season went. A few extra points here on the board for Spacestation off the first hill.
Back and forth at the moment. Bound the only player in the lobby who has yet to register a kill at this point. And of course, it was only a month or so ago that he picked up his first trophy. So to be back in a Grand Finals once again, he's got the chance to double up.
See what Lucid can do from top gold. All 8 players alive on the map here, and both teams just about tied here at the 50% mark on this first hill.
Lucid looking to break the C-flat hold at the moment. Beautiful shots. Can he stay alive though? That's the question. The answer is no. Optic Gaming find themselves 4 dead, and StelluR steps inside of that hill. TriPPPeY trying to escape those elevator spawns, but here comes the rest of TriPPPeY to hold off this push from Optic.
Where does the first kill go? Notice how TriPPPeY does not challenge right away. TriPPPeY goes tower instead. Kills traded out early on here, 3v3.
TriPPPeY's going to be weak. Oh, it doesn't matter if he's weak because he's found himself a shock rifle. And that evens it up. Spacestation just about managed to convert that hill, though. It will be 1-0 to the team who are dressed in red.
Despite the kill, despite the chaos there, TriPPPeY did well to get in the tower and to hit that shot from the crates. However, Spacestation will get your first hill on the board.
Really hot start this from TriPPPeY. 10-3 already. Eco picks up a double kill himself, though, and it looks like Spacestation will now have control of the map once more. Set up here just outside of blue. Second hill completely locked down for them at the moment, and again, Optic just trapped in and around Turbine.
Let's also not forget here, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Grand Final. Spacestation coming from the elimination bracket, meaning just like the Halo World Championship, they will need to win 2 back-to-back best of 7s in order to take this event.
3 dead here for Spacestation. Optic get the break. Spawns are coming in over at goal, so StelluR has to be dealt with here. And oh my goodness, luckily there for Formal, even though the shots were pretty good. APG that was there to help him out with a little bit of assistance to make sure that StelluR wasn't too much of a problem. Kills falling in the favor now of Optic Gaming. They get in control of the map, but Pznguin somehow scarpers away.
How about TriPPPeY at 13 and 5? Almost, oh, look at these shots from Formal, almost turns 2 there. TriPPPeY's 13 and 5. He's almost doubling everyone else in the game in the kills category.
Starting to get a little bit scrappy here. Nobody able to get full map control. It's TriPPPeY, last player alive for Optic. Has an impact on the map. Formal will pick up and get another one. And look at that spawn now coming in for Lucid. He'll be able to play the back of Silo and he'll be able to support his teammate as Optic Gaming now look to go into a lead on this second hill. Camo coming up in around 15 seconds or so, so look for the attention of both teams to turn towards that.
Dangerous position here for Optic. They need to hold back Hydro. They're 2 dead. Man advantage here for SSG.
APG just trying to be a nuisance at the moment, playing this head glitch beautifully. Knows pressure's going to come, but he's hoping the rest of his teammates are going to arrive as well. In the meantime, while the distraction comes in from APG and Spacestation prioritize that hill, it's going to be TriPPPeY who comes away with that camo. Picks up 1, and that will allow the rest of his team to get back on the map. Bound looking for a trade and gets it, so camo out, but 2 kills picked up by that camo player, TriPPPeY.
Last 2 players alive are Tower and Hill. This is very interesting. Optic needs to be careful how they play this. Here comes the Flood.
Flood does come in, and they will get those final kills. So now it's an opportunity for them to step into the hill. And Lucid, well, he's found himself a shock rifle. 1 shot to the head with this thing, and all of a sudden you're going to see the numbers fall heavily in the favor of Optic Gaming. Trade not going to be picked up there by Pznguin, as Optic managed to get that kill as Formal walks his way into tower and gets that beat down.
Enemy team took the hill.
And now you're going to see Spacestation trying to stack this hill a little bit. Nobody ready to really step in for Optic at the moment. 1 headshot here, and you might think that decision changed.
Look at this now. Optic needs to play this carefully. Still a 2-man advantage. Let's get to a listen here on this hill with Optic Gaming.
Jump on double stack. Caution, weak spot. Still double stack, guys. Still double stack. Absolute wall. Watch on me, guys. Never kill hill.
C-Sir's
absolute. Last guy, tower. Back silo. Back silo. He's sitting back there. Lost shock, C-box. I'm pushing on. Back silo. Shock is down my body. Stay alive. I spawn long.
Batteries and needler. Batteries.
Shock. Yo, caution, guys. Caution. Double stack right now.
C-Sir's. Let me get
Two guys still. Long. One shot. Yeah. Last guy, C-boxes.
C-box. I'm here.
Yo, make sure he gets out. Somebody push it out. Go. Yeah, I'm half. He's pushing. Hill, right side. Pushing. Absolute. He's one shot. Absolute. He's going hill. One shot. Hill. Nice. Two. Be careful, guys. Be careful.
Tower, guys. Tower.
Yeah, stay tight.
Tower.
They're gonna hit this. They're gonna double it. They're gonna double it.
I got one more.
Enjoy. I'm watching you doing. Watch you. Stay down. I got shot C5. One shot. Just one shot C5. Spot of vision.
Well, it goes right down to the wire as we come out of the listening, but Optic Gaming do get their first hill on the board. We're tied up at 1-1, but that was just millimeters between the 2 teams.
I mean, what a treat. I have full-body chills from that listening. You heard perfect play calls coming in from the IGLing. Here's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to double stack hill. They made sure to play tight. You heard the words out of Lucid's mouth. That's incredible game management from Optic Gaming to tie this series here. The game 1-1, and the Greenwall champ begins.
Greenwall chant begins, but Pznguin looking to shut that down. He's now last alive, and all of a sudden, Spacestation, who had a full elevator cell, find themselves 4 dead. Optic have broken conclusively here, and we all know, we've watched enough of this game type to realize this elevator hill is so hard to break.
Look at TriPPPeY continuing. He's 20 and 11. The next highest on SSG is 13 kills. This man is absolutely slaying out in game number 1.
Formal inside of this hill for now. Push looks like it's going to be coming through on the turbine. A couple of shots into one. Bound. Got away with it there. Didn't get stuck. And he will come out of it with double kill as well. APG trying to challenge Bound here down at the bottom of the tower. But both teams breaking successfully, which is a little bit surprising to me to see, Andy.
APG was your last player alive. He actually backs down. Kills will be traded out, but StelluR flushes that last kill out, maintaining this advantage and the pressure. This should be the hill.
This should be the hill, but there might be a chance to flood here because 2 players from Spacestation have fallen. So Lucid's going to challenge. Lucid's going to go in. And the sidekick. The handy gun to have in that situation. TriPPPeY now trying to fly in on StelluR. Gets the kill, doesn't get traded out. Optic will break, and once again, we're in a situation here where it's millimeters between the 2 teams on this hill.
It's just going to be deja vu all over again here for Spacestation. Take a look at the hill. Look at this, 1 point away. Eco tries to challenge. Can he get it?
Eco trying to challenge, but here comes Formal. He gets that kill. Optic still inside of the hill on Optic. Once again, clutch up in the last few moments of that hill. They're up 2-1.
And what is going on the SSG side of the stage? In their heads, they're 4 dead and the second hill in a row. They are moments away from being up 3-0 in this game. Instead, we're at 2-1 in favor of Optic and TriPPPeY with the camo as well.
You wondered if Optic were going to be coming into this a little bit cold, if they weren't going to be warmed up, having watched SSG play game after game after game. Well, I think you're finding out right now. They are locked in.
2 dead here for Optic. Still a lot of games still to play. 1:33 on the clock, but look at this 4th hill as well. Optic Gaming already about to tap 60% of the progress on it.
Oh, Eco stays alive though. Lucid couldn't take him down. And now the numbers starting to heavily weigh in the favor of Space Station. Eco still alive here, trying to team up with StelluR to finish off this kill. Will be able to do so. TriPPPeY will fall as well, and Eco just surviving for that few seconds now. You see the butterfly effect of it. Speaking of butterflies though, Lucid, he's got a fly swat, swats him out of the air.
Stings like a bee with that shock. He will stay up pipes. Excuse me, the shock will stay at pipes, and they'll look to make damage here. You see Bound trying to hit some shots from across the map.
Enemy team.
Well, talk about TriPPPeY, he slowed down a little bit, but APG's picked his game up as well. You're seeing him with 19 kills, Formal right behind him as well. He's 19 and 14 himself. Make it 20 as Pznguin tees it up for him.
Also, look what happens. SSG brings Formal the shock in the hill and tees up that shot for him. Formal gets a gift from the heavens and now very close to finishing out this hill as well.
Should be able to do so. StelluR though, he's on the flank. And he keeps Optic at bay for just a few more moments. StelluR now looking for a second. And somehow he's keeping Space Station alive on this hill.
Really good pre-nades on the sneaky. That's not an easy angle and shot to hit, but here comes the Optic push.
This is a 3-man push coming in from Optic. Bound gets 1 though, which is going to slow things down once again. StelluR still inside of that hill, by the way, and it looks like Lucid decided, you know what, we need to get this man out of here. Shots coming in from across the map are going to make it difficult for him. 2 dead for Optic Gaming and SSG. Maybe you're looking to do to Optic what Optic did to them on the last 2 hills.
Formal's your last player alive. Pznguin now with the camo. This is an opportunity for a very big steal here for SSG, and it looks like they will do it. Lucid has to fly.
Double push bottom middle.
Oh boy, look at this.
Making a triple push. TriPPPeY taking on Pznguin. He's trying to buy as much time for his team to get back in this game. Pznguin again with the double kill, but here comes Formal. Pznguin in a 1v1 here with Formal. The help now comes through. The SSG get the slays, and off the back of that should get this hill.
How about the patience from Pznguin? Just sits at the double stacks on the jump up. Killing spree for him in the late game. 4 dead for Optic Gaming. It's another double kill, and Space Station on a late game run here. 18 seconds left in regulation.
Late game composure is what we always talk about at this level. When you get to the death of the tournament, these final games, nothing is decided in the first few moments. It's all about the end game. 17 seconds left on that game clock as well. As Space Station recognize it and step out for just a few seconds, looking for some slays.
They get the job done with the perfect timing on the kills, perfect timing on the camo, and now they find 2 dead as well.
Last 2 players are trapped in pipes as well. They're trying to force their way through. Pznguin spots them out, and Pznguin's spree continues here as SSG step back into that hill to rack up more time.
Going to continue to keep them trapped at pipes and gold. And this is a big, big battle here. All 8 alive on the map. The next few kills will determine if SSG closes it out here.
You're going to have to go through Pznguin if you're going to get anywhere near that hill. And look at Optic. They're trying to make sure they have bodies on the map. But Eco gets that first kill. Pznguin still just standing on this wave, but Formal's found himself a shock rifle. Formal's found himself to an Optic. They break again.
3 dead. Eco's your last player alive at elevator. He's about to get tripled.
Formal can't quite connect with the head that time, but it was all Formal. 2 shock rifle kills to give Optic a chance in this game. Next point wins as we see that camo pop bottom middle as well.
Of course, those 2 minutes added in overtime to give us some extra play time here to determine where this point will go. And the clock, of course, will continue to freeze each time the hill is being controlled.
Look at Pznguin, full of confidence, challenging Formal, saying if you're going to take me down, you're going to have to hit some really solid shots. Formal still with his shock inside of the hill. Pznguin still a problem, but look at the kill feed. It's lighting up for Optic Gaming right now. That's 2 dead. Pznguin's been impressive in the last few moments. Still gets 1 on batteries, but will be finally taken down by Formal. Optic almost tying up this hill now.
Wow, stays alive as long as he can, but what does it cost them now? 2 dead though for Optic off the push. Space Station does take advantage of the timing push. Here they come.
TriPPPeY going to be double challenged as well. It's 3 dead for Optic. And SSG have broken at just the wrong time for Optic fans, but maybe just at the right time to win this game.
What does Lucid do? He was your last player alive. Here he comes.
Might get 1. Doesn't get any. Bound fights in. Gets the beat down, and it will be SSG. pulled off the final push and will be one up in our grand final.
Wow. How about that for a table setter?
That won't be up, trust me.
What a game one here. SSG is outslayed 91-89, yet they win the game in overtime. An unbelievable late game run after what looked like it was going to be conclusive Optic gaming control throughout the entire mid game. SSG digs deep not once, but twice to take the game in overtime.
Got to talk about Elevator Hill for me. Optic have such a strong setup. They rotate early to make sure they get it. They lock it down. Spacestation 4 dead. Everyone in the death screen. And they get broken off of that next push. That kind of thing at this level, surprising to see with how good these players are. But I gotta say, it was surprising that Optic sitting it that long. You saw Spacestation have full control, forward in everything it could to break that hill. But a final push from Spacestation was the difference. They get that final hit on the board. They're up 1-0.
I mean, what a beautiful game one. Here's the play, by the way. Pznguin on the double stacks here with the camo, taking his time one by one. Then also make sure to get the trade here against Formal. Not even a trade, excuse me. Stays alive beyond it. And it plays like that. We're tied 2-2 that made things really interesting.
This little run from Pznguin just turned the game on his head. You can see Lucid here at the end as well. If he just connects with that headshot, maybe on Eco, maybe things look a little bit different. But they're the margins we're playing with now. A shoulder is not good enough to hit with that battle rifle. It has to be the head. As Spacestation flood into that hill to get it on their side and take King of the Hill recharge. 3-2.
Dare I say it, I think it's one of the best game ones of a grand finals that we've had in a very long time. That one felt like there was a lot on the line, and that's because indeed there is. Next up, StelluR on Aquarius between these two, and let's not forget, the last two times we've seen these two play StelluR, they both went to Optic. Let's take a look at the HCS Fort Worth stats all up.
Looking at these, you can see Optic have been very, very good. Only one blip on their record in StelluR game time, so a lot for the Green Wall to like about that. We talked about this a little bit earlier though. SSG up and down after the work that they put in ahead of the last event that we had in Salt Lake City, where they knew their StelluRs were a little bit up and down. And kind of looks like those problems are rearing their heads again.
And look at Lucid here with several asterisks on his side of the stage, and he's gonna like that as he leads HCS Fort Worth in all three of these categories. 1.58 StelluR KD, 4K damage plus, and also a damage differential of over 700.
I will say though, look at the stats of Pznguin. A player who you usually kind of think about being in that support role, where he stepped up in this tournament, especially in these games. Game number 2 is live. 50 kills to win here in Aquarius. The heat wave is such a big factor.
And it feels like the heat has turned up in this building as well here in Fort Worth. Spacestation now only 3 games away from sending us to a second best of 7. Or can Optic Gaming tie the series here at 1-1? We're underway in game number 2.
On board with StelluR. To start this game off, who's going to play for that heat wave? Who's going to play for that thrust? It looks like the thrust has gone. Bound usually the player to go for that. On the Spacestation side, as we see the pink push coming in as both teams wrestle for control of that weapon we were talking about, and I'm pretty sure that Formal might have just got away with it.
And more often than not, you're seeing at a high level Aquarius, the teams are playing those openings a bit slower. They want to see how things play out just a bit in the beginning, and that has been no exception here. It's just 3-2.
That corrected. Formal did not get away with that heat wave. Not sure quite where that has gone. Usually it's in the hands of TriPPPeY. As TriPPPeY now does actually pick up 2. He's trying to be hunted down right now and will be. Formal. A little bit of help from APG, and at the moment, this pace of this game is trade after trade after trade on the pink side. Nobody coming out on top.
Yeah, they're coming in thick here, right? As we said, a slower start, and then all of a sudden, everyone just started flooding here on the pink side. Will now be all 8 players alive on the map. Here comes the push from SSG.
They could be some really big grenades there, but nothing connects from APG. Eco going to be challenging. Pznguin picks up 1. Bound another. And that's going to be 3 dead for Optic Gaming. TriPPPeY looking at all the carnage in front of him and thinking, boys, where did you go?
He has to retreat, scattle back to the teammates, and he will be able to do so to make sure the damage isn't too strong. Spacestation now up by 1 here, 8-7.
This is just a constant battle of pink at the moment, and there is the heat wave. Eco is the man who has it. TriPPPeY trying to flank P1. With that thrust going to be able to stay alive for just a few extra seconds. Formal just caught off guard for a second, but there's a little thrust move from him, but it won't keep him alive.
Pznguin was ready for it here. 2 dead for Spacestation. That'll give Optic Gaming now a 1-kill lead, as the lead has just changed back and forth here in the opening moments.
QT coming up in a few moments' time as well, and that might be something that just allows one of these players on the map a touch more freedom than what they've had so far. Formal, we've talked about him in that first event that we saw the Quantum Translocator introduced into the game types. seem to be a little bit ahead of the curve and mastering how to get in and out as Bound. Well, he's getting in and he's coming out with 2 kills.
Hey, look at that. You see Lucid looking left and right, screen watching his teammates' screens to see those 2 deaths take place. That'll give SSG the lead now, 12-10.
1 kill here, but you would expect maybe a trade to come through unless Optic
Oh.
find themselves being held down by Lucid. It's a double kill, it's a triple kill. There's too many medals on our screen to really reward that play from Lucid.
Are you kidding me? Cool, calm, collected the whole way through. Screen watching, gets the sidekick, first kill on the Jet, and then with the thrust, hits the fadeaway for the double stick, making it a triple, and the lead as well.
16 to 13 now. Optic with a 3-kill advantage. Make it 2 as a couple of trades come through. Pznguin comes out of that little situation. The sticky one over in the fridge with a couple of kills. So 17 to 15. And the sidekick again. We know how deadly this thing is short range. Pznguin has the thrust. But that sidekick, just better in that situation.
You get the feeling with Lucid here leading the game in kills, maybe we're starting to see the Lucid of old, the untouchable Lucid here as he's 7-3 in this game.
Confidence is a funny thing, right? As soon as it starts coming back, you feel invincible. You feel unbeatable. And maybe that's what Tommy Wilson is feeling right now. 8-4 at the start of this game, but now Optic are going to have to just slow the pace down for a second. Couple of kills fall in the favor of SSG, still just a 2-kill difference.
And Optic knows just how much is riding here as the game comes within 1, right? They do not want to go 2-0 in this first series down. Trying to even things up here and stay on top, try to win this series in its first set.
You also know that StelluR is something you relied on. You know that SSG have been a little bit weak. The objective game types where SSG have been pretty good so far, so to take the StelluR away, tie the series up, it's almost a must-do here for Optic.
2 dead here for SSG, still just a 2-kill game. TriPPPeY knows he's in trouble up top, has to retreat here to the Gen. Things slow down for just a second yet again. Let's look for what the opening damage is here.
Well, we'll talk about Big Game Trip, a nickname which is given by other people, not one you give yourself. Well, it needs to be a big series coming in from TriPPPeY, as halfway through this game, we've hit the 25 kill mark at exactly the same time for both teams.
This is exactly how they would write the story, like you said. 27-27 now at this point. Let's get to it. Let's in here with Spacestation Gaming.
One shot, P jump. Another on P1, blue stairs. Yeah, blue stairs, blue stairs.
Blue P tunnel, blue P tunnel.
Lippy.
Look at P2. You blue P? Don't even get
I'm watching top blue from fridge.
Spawn for 1. Here in blue closet. Yo, I'm going for yellow.
Do I have help? No, yes, no.
Yeah. Blue flag, dude. One star side? Oh, yo,
I think they're P, guys.
There's a guy P, there's a guy in the flag. Look at P2 still. Yellow flag. Still look at P2. They're definitely in the closet.
Yo, blue flag and blue engine. Blue flag and blue engine.
Flag, yep.
Yo, one in the P tunnel, one in the P
Should I
tunnel.
push up to P2 or no?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we can blow out P now.
No, I mean, they're here.
One in the P tunnel.
One's on your pistols. They're probably hiding fridge, 100%. Just chill.
One in the P tunnel.
We don't have eyes on P1 exactly.
On the bridge weak.
Yo, watch out,
On the
watch
stairs
out,
weak.
watch
On the
out,
stairs
watch
weak
out,
as well.
watch out.
Stairs weak.
Blue window.
Window weak and car glass.
Yeah,
Window weak.
Engine weak.
Car one.
Foremost in the base.
One shot. Dead.
Foremost in the base.
Okay, push it.
Come here, Bound.
Where?
One shot on me. I lost heat wave. They're gonna be
Yo,
P1
back flag.
Front yellow.
Yo, he's back flag. Lucid, he's a thrust. He's blue P tunnel with thrust. He's going fridge.
Hurt.
Blue,
I think.
I said,
I died
yo,
to
push
P2.
up, push up,
P2 as well. P2.
P1 foremost. Going front yellow.
Yeah, front yellow,
Front yellow weak.
watch out.
Front yellow weak. Nice. 2 dead.
P2, I
Blue
think.
flag, I'm
P2, I
blue
think.
flag.
Pushing yellow. Zane anchor.
Could be a P2, could be P2. Yeah, P2 watch out, trippy.
Back into the game, and one of the biggest leads we've seen so far. SSG sounding composed, as they always do. The QT a little bit of a difference maker there, but mostly Bound the difference maker. That opening damage, the opening pick, and SSG flood off the back of it.
So much to admire in the comms there from SSG. That entire time during the standoff, they're just going into, we don't have eyes on P1. They must be fridge. They must be front blue. They're going to be in blue connector. The perfect communication to identify where each and every player was. And you saw them pick apart the Optic roster to give them now, as you say, the first 3-kill lead we've seen in quite some time.
3 kills the difference. QT back up as well. Trades down bottom middle at the moment. TriPPPeY challenging Pznguin, but Pznguin has been shooting incredibly all tournament long, and there's another example of it.
See what Pznguin can do here. The 3-kill lead becomes 4. This is now the home stretch for Spacestation. Can they do it again?
No big swings in this game, though. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing that's got out of hand for either team, and there is Optic with the first pick themselves. Now, what can you make of this? Can you turn this into multiple kills? The answer is yes. Lucid gets 1. Formal gets 1. Lucid gets 2. It's a double for him. And now we have a tie game.
That was 3 dead here. Pznguin's still on the other side of the map. Not sure if they know it yet. It's split right now, so Optic needs to be very careful with how they play this. Tied at 38 in game number 2.
16-9 for Lucid at the moment. As that QT just to retreat to his side of the map. And talking about Pznguin, well, he's managed to scarper away and come out of it with a kill. Never forget about Pznguin. We've talked about this a few times, right? You can't lose track of anyone at this level. Pznguin doesn't get that kill. APG will take him down. Now it's about facing forward as we're tied up with 11 kills to go.
This is nervy. We wouldn't have it any other way. Neck and neck at the 39 mark between these two. As you say, Lucid on your screen is 16-9. Unbelievable numbers in a game where you're tied.
On the other side of things is Pznguin leading the way, 14-9. But where is this pick going to come in? 2 players from SSG. They're going to be on the shot grenades. TriPPPeY's going to fly in. Can they get these kills though? Lucid will find one. StelluR's going to challenge. Killing spree here for Lucid in the late game, but everybody backs down. Everybody respects that there's just 10 to go.
Oh, look at this eco battle here. Oh my goodness, gets the help as well from TriPPPeY.
But the trade's coming elsewhere. It's still tied up, 41-41. QT just popped.
4 minutes on the clock, but you can almost be certain we won't need him here. Lucid finds another. 2 dead for Optic though, needs to be careful.
StelluR though, StelluR went in and got a double kill off the back of it. It's a 1 kill advantage in the favor of SSG. Lucid trying to chase down the damage and Bound will find another, so now it's 2 kills. And Lucid has to be so careful in this situation. Little bit of damage done, but has he been baited in? The answer is yes, and StelluR flies in to keep Bound alive. And SSG now within 5.
They don't get the kill they needed. Lucid with the thrust and sidekick. You thought he might at least get one. He does not get that kill. That now gives SSG a 2-kill lead, a 3-kill lead at 47-44.
And in the late game, once again, it's SSG who is showing that ice. 3 kills to go now, but Optic will know 1 good push, and it could still be their game.
As we said, very unlikely you would need the full game clock here. And SSG with the game in their hands, a 3-kill lead with 3 kills to go.
Good sneaky position from StelluR though. Playing on that head glitch to get that first pick. And the signal has been given here for Spacestation. Fly in, boys. Let's try and close this one out. Lucid down. StelluR picks up his 17th of this game. It's 1 more to go for SSG.
You gotta think. They know it's here. They know it's here. Check the fridge.
Looking for the leftovers. Eco's gonna find them. SSG. A 2-0 up in our grand finals. And I tell you what, if you were thinking this might be a quick evening, well, quite simply you might be wrong, because we are looking down the barrel of Optic Gaming and Spacestation and a bracket reset.
And let's not forget the records that you saw on screen before this game. Optic was 8-1 in StelluR. SSG was 5-6, and Optic had won both Slayers in the matchup prior with these 2 teams at this weekend's event. Instead, this time, it's SSG with an unbelievable late game run. 50-44, they will close out the game. And StelluR goes 17-8.
That man StelluR, 17-8. And in that end game, how good was he, right? Just playing off the damage of others. That push that they made onto the car, TriPPPeY pokes himself out. He's like, hey, I've got information. StelluR's just not showing whatsoever, just using the geometry of that ramp. Pokes back out. Gets that kill, and then you could just see the signal was to flood from SSG. Get those trades, close the game out. It's exactly what they did. As we jump in some of the highlights of our game number 2.
And I gotta say, once again, so impressed with the listening from Spacestation Gaming. I think it tells you everything you need to know about this team. And look at this play from Lucid though to open things up. An unbelievable triple.
Beautiful stuff coming in from Lucid. Another big play here with that sidekick. So devastating at close range. But I think 2 pivotal moments you're looking at, right? The StelluR play at the end, the baiting and switching from Spacestation to get that kill onto TriPPPeY. And then just before that, the push from Lucid on the other gen where he doesn't get the trade, doesn't get the kill.
Right here. This is the play you're talking about. Take a look at this. Cannot finish Bound because StelluR flies in to help out. And there was a lot of pressure there. You might even say, here's the play you were also talking about. StelluR with perfect timing there. They also double-teamed the back of the base with Lucid, who might have gotten away with that had they not. And then after that, it's just a matter of checking the fridge. They had 3 eyes on it, and they close it out. But I couldn't agree more. There was a lot of pressure on Lucid there in the opposing gen. He stayed there because he had the sidekick thrust and was going to be able to win a 1v1. The 1v2 was too tall of an order for him. And just like that, in your first best of 7, SSG will take the 2-0 series lead.
Now, game number 3, Oddball Lightfire. You get your 2 best Oddball teams in the whole of Halo, which is a wonderful thing to know if you're going to see Oddball Live Fire is your map number 3. It means we're going to be back and forth, and for Optic Gaming, it needs to be a win. Numerous reasons for that, of course. They want to get this closed out in the first series, but I just feel like when you lose 2 close games like that, it hurts so much more than if you kind of get pushed aside, knowing they're maybe not your game types, maybe ones that you know you need to do a little bit of work on. But for Optic, 2 close ones to come that close, find yourself down by 2, it's tough to take.
Let's take a look here, your objective kings on the screen. Eco versus APG. Let's talk about the ball time per game. Both of them clocking in 60 and 80, respectively, on the board. 40% of time for APG. That's quite a margin.
Yeah, certainly is indeed. And no surprise to see the KD a little bit higher for Eco. With the comparison of those ball time stats, right? APG, much more difficult to get those kills if you're having a drop and hit a few shots, play that ball, kind of sacrifice your life in order to get that ball time on the board. So maybe Optic looking at that and thinking, hey, maybe we'll share that out a little bit more in the future, but APG doing everything he needs for his team to win.
He really is, and I'm so glad we highlighted APG ahead of this game because APG's rotates on Oddball Live Fire. There's a reason that he's trusted with 40% of the ball time. It's because this man is rotating usually seconds prior to the play can even be seen, right? The team comms on Optic for these ball rotates can be absolutely incredible. And more times than not, they are led by APG. Let's keep a close eye on this game to see exactly how they're moving the ball around the map. I think it might be the difference maker, as well as the play balls, on if they take this game.
Yeah, one thing I love what Optic do as well, sometimes they'll take that ball out on the overshield side. They kind of fake it, right? They'll start rotating, just walking it one way. Spawners come in and they're like, hey, they're going to Garrison's forward push. Then they just turn around a few seconds later. That internal clock of what do we want to do? What do we want to lead our opponents to believe we're about to do? And then changing it up. So difficult to read Optic Gaming with their ball rotates, and the same can be said about Spacestation, the way they get that ball to green, and not just for play balls as well. They hold down green so well, Spacestation, and usually you'll see them keep that ball on the map as well.
Couldn't agree more. And when you have those players on scoreboard and window, and you have B spawners and nest spawners, the second you can fake that you're going to tower and change the complete routing of your opponents can buy you so much time and buy you so much advantage in these games. Optic Gaming chain around the neck proudly here for TriPPPeY and all the players on the Optic Gaming side of the stage. Also, of course, decked out in Championship Sunday whites. And Optic Gaming fans will be very happy to see them returning to the grand finals.
Gotta say, just kind of going back to what you were saying as we got into the first game of this grand final. Crazy event, upsets galore. Everybody in this tournament has lost the series, yet we still find ourselves with 2 Titans at the end of it. Here's your 2023 map records, and you can see Optic Gaming perfect on Live Fire Optic.
Feels like a story of old. Optic Gaming and Live Fire, guess what? On Oddball, they're still perfect, as you say. 5-0 up against Spacestation's 4-2. The stats would suggest that Optic Gaming will have this one in the bag, but SSG might have something else to say. Here we are into game number 3. SSG currently leading 2-0.
Spacestation looking to go up by 3. What a start that is. APG had no chance. Multiple guns traced on him, and StelluR, he's already got the sniper, and TriPPPeY is already going to sleep. It's 4 dead for Optic Gaming. The perfect start here for SSG.
4 dead in 12 seconds.
Give me StelluRPOV. I'm sorry to jump in. He's hitting everything.
12 seconds it takes them to get 4 dead on this game type. Dangerously efficient is this team, and they already lead here 15-0. Spacestation is looking dangerous.
Heat wave, ball, snipe. Oh, momentarily overshield as well. We forget about that though, as that does get taken down. 20 seconds on the board already, as StelluR looks to continue his reign of terror.
And if you didn't catch Salt Lake City, this is your player to watch here in the Halo Championship Series right now. StelluR has been putting on a show, not just this weekend, but of course in Salt Lake as well. And now they lead 31-0.
4-0 off the rip here, StelluR. And I said it's a reign of terror, excuse me. Well, it's been the reign of StelluR recently. Looking to clean up yet another one. Before was giving him the wiggle, still manages to snap on. First time that he goes into the death screen, it's a killing spree alongside it. 35 points off the rip here for SSG, but Optic have slowed things down.
Slow things down, let's see if they can work together here. It's a very nice nade off the wall to clear out Bound, and more damage as well here from Lucid. Heat wave in hand.
Turnover of weapons, but weapons versus bodies, bodies usually wins. Eco taken down as well. Things starting to get a little bit scrappy here as the ball is secondary, but Spacestation do just sneak away with it, having picked up a couple of kills. Now keeping it overshield, excuse me, side of the map on Live Fire. At this point in the game, pretty smart, but the numbers are a little bit scrappy. Keeping it here with the OV coming up, a smart play from SSG.
Yeah, let's see how SSG plays this. Pznguin plays that so well, just isolating one sandbags battle, and the whole time, as the whole team comes over now, with the overshield pop, it will be shrouded. Bound does not pop first. Look at the confidence there to win the battle first with the team and then pop.
Really, really smart stuff from Bound, making sure that Optic don't get their hands on it, that they will fall to the floor. And now, Spacestation with the second overshield of the game. Bound on the hunt, APG, ooh, a little bit wobbly, a little bit weird, but Bound comes out of it with the right result, you would say.
I love the micro there from Bound. He just sits on the box, even though it's a bit awkward, he just keeps APG in front of him. He's not gonna allow himself to get backwashed from a weird angle. He just sits there, and even though the melee is funky, the first one, he still wins that battle, and they now lead 61-8, and they still have a two-man slaying advantage at the moment.
I don't quite understand Bound's stats right now. I'm not quite sure how it works. Bound is 2-5-4, but it feels like he should have 20 kills. Finally, Optic Gaming slow him down for a second to get a hand on that oddball because it's 62-13, and SSG have been on fire at the start of this first round.
It was a three-man advantage here for Optic. However, all 8 players up now, and the first pick is going to go to Optic, but it might be traded out here.
Pznguin flying in as well. 2v2 on the map. Good shots coming in from APG though. Really smart angle there to take him down, but here comes StelluR again. Almost lines up the second one. Almost a shock when he doesn't hit the head.
I was going to say, every time you see the sniper in the man's hands, it feels like you're watching a highlight reel. It's hard to distinguish what's real live gameplay versus the highlight reel with StelluR's gameplay these days. 2 dead for both sides yet again here. It's now 62-14 with 3 minutes left on the clock.
And now a man who's been just as effective with this sniper rifle. He's got it back in his hands. Pznguin, standout player for me on SSG so far this tournament. He will fall though as Optic Gaming get the kills they need to finally get some semblance of a setup here in Garage.
It's 3 dead yet again. It's very good timing, very important timing here for Optic Gaming as they continue to get the ball placed here. Overshield popping in 10.
Overshield coming up. That's why you see Informal change his direction. Oddball is going to be dropped as they decide to fight for this one. Winds it up but doesn't get to pull the trigger.
Keep an eye on this overshield popping right now. This is a big, big moment in the game here. Will determine the direction that it goes.
3-man push here from SSG, trying to force them back. Shots come in though from Optic Gaming. They don't get the burn at SSG. That overshield is still down somewhere. They pick up 3 kills and that's going to be the first OS now. Going over to Optic.
And what timing there. 3 players stacked, as you said, from SSG. It'll be 3 players falling. And Optic Gaming, though they trail by 50, let's get into a listen here with Optic.
Now, leader now. Two big door now.
Who's one?
Big door, back green, weakness, 2 there.
Absolute back green, absolute bound. Back green, Pznguin.
He's getting timed.
Whole team.
Still one shot, man. One shot.
It's 2 back green, guys. It's 3 back green.
Trying to watch your back green, man. Nice.
I'm back green, Pznguin.
Hear that.
Back green, one to cut. Make sure you can play. Nice. Let's get the pass. Let's go.
Yo, stay up, guys. Stay up.
Why spawn here, Joey? Spawn here.
You're gonna be
Wait, go back to A then.
I'll stay here.
Hiding a name.
These guys are gonna go.
Bottom in.
2 A plat, guys. 2 A
Hitting my
plat.
white wall.
Shot, A plat.
I'm just gonna play this.
One shot. A plat. One shot, man.
One shot A plat, you absolute. In the vent, one shot.
You guys almost back green.
It's all you. Come on.
We got one. There's still one more back green.
Look at you, Joy. Look at you.
I know. The guy going, I think pillar door. Not sure.
Watch her, grab it. I'm going with it. Yeah, heard you. On ball, one shot.
They're beating this.
Pillar door, really big Pznguin.
I can look pillar.
Watch your elbow. Watch your elbow, Joey.
Pillar, white box.
Don't get training. Get one shot. Training after that.
He's
Absolute. Going cuts. Last guy cuts. Absolute. Here you go. Going A plat.
Look at dummy.
He's just sitting cuts. Cuts. One shot. Watch out.
Dummy again. 2 there.
They're staggers.
I'm dead. I'm still on Ovi.
A plat.
I'm looking at 5 box shot.
Already A plat.
Ready to play out green here. Ready to play out green. Nice shot.
Yo,
No time here.
listen, they're playing for Ovi. Okay?
Go white box. White wall, guys. One shot. Nice. You guys are playing around it. Deep dummy door.
Nice.
Key door behind you.
Let's go.
Half shields, jail.
One shot.
Bring it to me.
Could be A.
Watch your own back.
Yeah, watch out for combo. Get away from that. I'm gonna fight A. Look at
Wait. Just hold down for a second. Yo, sniping elbow, Brad.
I'm looking at A.
Optic staying calm in the comms, and that calmness is bringing results. They are starting to put full time on the board now, 2-4 for SSG, and it's a 20-point difference, and it was all about those rotates you were mentioning, Andy.
Beautiful rotates, and you also saw that SSG split a bit. StelluR goes back green during the overshield push from SSG. They try to kind of play both sides of the map, and it really costs them. Optic Gaming takes advantage of both. They get the kills at green, they get the kills on Ovi, they get the Ovi itself, and now they're just 10 points away on a massive comeback.
Ball has to be played though. Selfless play from APG initially. Doesn't come out of that with a trade though. 3 dead for Optic. And that ball is being cycled away back to tower by SSG. One more opportunity here, maybe for Optic to break, to get that ball out of their hands. It's Bound who has his hands on that off ball.
Oh boy, StelluR was ready for the dummy door push as well with that first kill. 5 seconds left, this could be the round.
This should be the round as well. Bound gets pushed. Can he hold on long enough? Yes, he can. SSG get that first round on the board.
And you feel like Optic let too many points go away on the board early in the game. It will cost them in the end, despite a heroic comeback of about 60 points to get back into the game and just about tie it up. All it took was one final hold from SSG and one final 4 dead. They now lead in the game, 1 round to 0, and only 1 round to take the game.
TriPPPeY doesn't get to pick up his favorite toy this time around. StelluR's read that one before. Takes that green gun bottom middle, takes him down. As now Bound is going to have his turn with that sniper rifle. Pznguin there to help him out. Overshield coming up in about 5 seconds time. And all the kills seem to be falling initially to SSG. TriPPPeY! Bound puts him on his backside.
Even tries to go for more there, Lucid. He's going to be very thankful that he's able to end that run now. Eco with the overshield and a lot of OS to play with here with the squad here on the OS side push.
Love how SSG always position that overshielded player into the most dangerous position where they have to take the most fire, but if they come out of it alive still, they will deal so much damage, and Eco showing exactly how to play that situation. APG taken down as well. 3 dead here for Optic Gaming. The oddball should be collected here by Spacestation.
3 dead. You hear the overshield timer as well, and you see the ball being skirted out. Eco just going to hold down this cut side, and they're probably going to pick up this next kill as well, which will be big. And they maintain the man advantage. Another kill, 3 dead yet again. APG is your last player alive for Optic. A lot of people after Salt Lake City would have said StelluR's the best player in the game. Guess what? Right now he's 21-12 in this game as well.
Yet again, StelluR just with a ridiculous slaying performance. Former gets one, immediately traded out. Eco with a sniper rifle. A lot of talk about StelluR and Pznguin, what they can do with this weapon. Bound, ridiculous as well. Only 1 bullet to work with this time for Eco. Didn't really get a chance to show us what he can do.
Minor man advantage here from Optic. They already trail by 20. See if they can get the opening kills here to get a real hold put together as this overshield pops.
Overshield coming up now. Take ourselves back to round 1. Very similar thing was done by SSG, holding the ball on this overshield side of the map so that they could hopefully get the ball as well as that overshield. Well, this time, it's SSG who break Optic Gaming's hold. They get the elbow and yet another overshield.
Just a cage match there. I love how Eco says, get me into the shroud. I want to see what's going on in here. And Formal actually goes for the grab. Eco gets the melee as the overshield's still falling, which allows him to pop it immediately. However, they find themselves 2 dead, meaning Eco needs to take this a little bit slow.
Eco will try and keep that pressure on though. Slow down that oddball time. He's hoping there'll be some teammates coming off from respawn to help him, but I have to agree with you, maybe just a little bit overzealous.
I'm surprised to see him apply that much pressure on Window. It was a 1v2 and the help was coming, as you see just about a few seconds later. We'll see if it pays off for them though.
Oh my god! The 180 stick on APG, he had no chance.
I'm not gonna lie, it pays off for him because I didn't account for the 180 stick for Bound on the doorway to get that play put together. That means SSG will continue scoring.
If you had that on your bingo card, you're a liar. It's as simple as that. Eco just patrolling around the overshield at the moment as Bound picks up yet another. 16 assists in this game for Bound as well, just laying damage down all around the map. And look at this score, 62-17. Optic, who have been perfect on this game type, being taken apart.
3 dead here. Eco's your last player alive for SSG. Maybe a play ball here into the open field, or maybe just gonna hold Window.
As that repulse as well, so we'll be able to push away the push, and then he grenades to try and flush him out, buy even more time. Chooses just to jiggle peek around that pillar instead. Knew that help was arriving from Pznguin. Optic, 3 dead, StelluR, looking for more ball time. They have location of Lucid as well, who's gonna be top mid last alive. And StelluR now showing that he can hold an on-ball as well.
Lucid has to wait yet again. Lucid drops actually, and some pressure is coming in here from the B side, which means StelluR has to drop and shoot for a moment.
Formal just runs past. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there that StelluR was still in the vicinity. Easy double kill here for Bound, who's flanking. It's a wingman medal for StelluR as well. And I swear, every time a sniper rifle falls, it falls in front of StelluR. It's another overshield here for SSG. Optic, I've had 1, I believe, across the 2 rounds.
I'm not gonna lie, with sniper in hand, overshield and ball, this could be the round. This could be the game right here on this hold alone.
TriPPPeY manages to punch a hole in the setup for just a few seconds though. StelluR punches a hole in the ankles of APG. There's a second for B. Comfortable double kill for him. Formal going to be challenged. Yeah! Oh, he's going to do it! Bounce steals it away, but StelluR, the reign of terror continues.
We hate to say we told you so, but when all those weapons and things come together here, especially a sniper in the hands of a red-hot StelluR, it could spell disaster for Optic Gaming. 10 points to go.
StelluR says, hold that up, all guys. I got this. Lucid taken down. Eco combining with StelluR once more. So many times through the years we've seen it. As Optic have Formal left on his own.
StelluR with some good shots there just to buy a little bit of time for the teammates to fly over. The kill's picked up, and now it's all up to Lucid here, but the Shroud is going to help them get away.
The Shroud helps him get around this corner. 3 seconds to go, and SSG will go up by 3. 1 map away from resetting the bracket. SSG, they want to play some more Halo.
They do indeed. Look at this. Barely any reaction from the SSG side, making game 3 look very easy. A 2-0 win involved.
We talked about how this is a rematch from the Halo World Championship Finals. Well, funny how history repeats itself sometimes. SSG dominating in this first series. Back at Worlds, they reset the bracket, but then there was that infamous team talk from Optic Gaming, where they came back to the stage and things looked very different. They were the team that ended up lifting that trophy. The question is, do Optic have them in that? Do they have one more team talk in them? Because if they do, probably best to start it now.
Spacestation outslays in this game as we take a look at some highlights. Beautiful play here from Bound. 94-70 in the end across the 2 rounds. An enormous slaying margin, an enormous score margin as well.
I mean, are you surprised? That's the real question. Overshield after overshield after overshield picked up by SSG. And it's easy to say, yeah, you've got to get a few more overshields. By the way, that was just like, that was just a hymn play, wasn't it? Just a classic Bound play. Not many can do. This play from StelluR as well, absolutely ridiculous. I will say, by the way, he is a quarter shield as he slides down, can't see the shots coming in, just jumps in. Absolutely disgusting.
You gotta wonder if he had a word with Bound there.
I would.
Robbed him of the overkill on the main stage at a time where you could have said he probably had the luxury to give him the overkill. In the end, though, all they care about is the game wins on the board, and you're looking down the barrel of a 3-0 Spacestation lead. 1 game away from resetting our grand finals and sending us to a best of 7. Argyle CTF will be your next battleground.
And, you know, I always bring a little energy drink up with us. We call it the emergency drink, just in case the bracket does get reset. Haven't had to crack it yet this season, Andy, but I tell you what, it's looking pretty tasty right now. SSG, 1 game away from resetting this bracket. The 2 players we're still looking at on this map, in this series, excuse me, Pznguin and Formal. We looked at them coming into the series. That's the difference. Pznguin outperforming them at the moment.
Let's not forget, Formal was big on the KD as you saw coming in here. And of course, SSG has so far shut him down to a KD of just below 1.0. Can they do it again? 1 game away from resetting our grand finals, or can Optic Gaming stay alive and still try to win it here in the first set?
Another opportunity for some of the best players in the world, some of the best snipers in the world, to put on a highlight reel for us here. Such a difficult map to score on, though. We've talked about this a lot, Andy. We saw Spacestation go to a double overtime, of course, with Quadrant a little bit earlier on. And they really struggled to get this game under their belt. Maybe there's some good signs for Optic there.
You have to think with a game type like Argyle CTF, this is now an opportunity for Optic Gaming to catch their breath for the first time in this series. A slower game type that often can end 1-0, 2-1. Less scoring on the board, maybe giving Optic Gaming an opportunity to find their composure, find their footing here in the grand finals, truly for the first time.
Oh my God. I was about to say, I have so much respect for our observers, by the way. They catch so much of the action, but the job is very easy when StelluR gets a snipe, because he'll just run at you and give you clips.
Unbelievable there. TriPPPeY spawns in and doesn't even get a chance to check his laces before he gets absolutely whipped, and 2 dead. Here comes the flag run.
Trapped at the back of the base as well. StelluR in front. Optic Gaming 2 dead. A huge opportunity here for SSG to get this first flag on the board. They've almost got it past the 50-yard line. 2 dead for Optic again. Pznguin's out of here. He's got that flag back home almost.
StelluR's flanking around the base. He can't even find anyone to kill. He's going to probably get these last 2. He gets the first one.
He wins it!
StelluR had to look around to find the opponents to get the killing spree. The flag goes in. Spacestation already leading 1-0, and it takes them less than 2 minutes to get the first flag on the board.
This is terrifying from SSG. Finally, they're slowed down a little bit. The pressure is still on the Optic Gaming side of the map, though. Optic can't buy a kill at the moment. Formal can't get a kill at the moment. He's been in the death screen 4 times, and he's yet to register a kill himself. And, well, StelluR's got another sniper rifle. Finally, Optic get up to that 50-yard line. Bound picks up the first kill, though. Lucid has a sniper rifle himself, and he's got to try and match what StelluR has been doing. If Lucid can catch fire in the way that we know he can, that's Optic's way back into this game, if he can hit a few headshots.
You're absolutely right. I think the Optic Gaming roster needs to realize and remember, still just a 1-flag game here, even though that might have been a little bit deflating and disheartening to see that flag go in as fast as it did, with as difficult as they are in Argyle. Still a lot of games still to play here.
Confidence from StelluR, jumps up top middle, hits the body. As Lucid now starts to hit a few shots. You can see him in the kill feed. Pressure starting to come in, but does have some supporting teammates here. I find it difficult to get any kind of clear angles at the moment, though, Lucid, that are really going to progress his team up the map.
Important shot there as they were 2 dead. That's going to even things up just a little bit more here. And a very nice double kill killing spree comes in for Lucid. However, TriPPPeY's your last player alive.
TriPPPeY last alive. Pznguin will take him down as well. Eco just escapes, denying that line of sight with the grapple as well, trying to get pushed by those respawners and taken down, but smartly again positions himself in a way that those respawners on the side of the map aren't going to end his run here.
You can already tell, with the flag on the board, Spacestation's playing this a little bit differently, right? They're playing really obnoxious here for mid-map control. StelluR still sniping, Eco just grappling around and controlling and patrolling.
StelluR's got that big stick again. Finally going to be taken down, though. The run will be stopped. Formal going to be challenging aggressively. Eco! Wow. I tell you what, had no right to get that trade.
The trapeze artist closes the distance with the grapple and forces a trade that, to be honest, he had really no business getting. It's a very nice technical play there from Eco on screen. All 8 players up, still 7:45 left on the clock. A lot of time for Optic Gaming to make something happen. However, right now being outslayed 29-20.
I think you're right. SSG, after getting that first flag on the board, they don't need to push the pace. No intention of getting too aggressive. Just trying to hold the map, trying to hit these body shots that are just completely slowing down any push that comes in from Optic. But bound under pressure now, APG looking to ramp things up a little bit here for Optic. Gets inside of the base for just a second there, but at least gets past that 50-yard line as Formal also picks up a few kills. Lucid coming back for more. He's got that QT as well. It's 3 dead momentarily for SSG as he's trying to hunt down a Pznguin.
3 dead. It will be the 4th dead eventually, not consecutively. However, they will get the kills. There's your 4 dead. StelluR has spawned. Lucid with snipe and QT. Let's get to it. Listen with Optic Gaming.
Guys, I just snipe.
1v2, 1v2, 1v2.
Yeah, I see a lot of snipe. I'm gonna die. He's chasing me. He's gonna chase me.
Under high main as well. They're caution.
It might go along to me.
Hear that.
No, I'm here.
Right here. Yo, they're Vant, Pznguin. Down twice. So bottom end, he's for base. Our base, one shot out. One shot up center round.
Nice. Find their side, guys. Find their side for me.
One is still their Vant.
Kill the sniper.
Pushing.
I'm more front. They're sniper, weak, go.
I'm here, is he weak?
Yeah, weak.
Let's shoot Pznguin.
They're caution.
Abs.
Caution.
He's one shot there, Fed.
Kill one guy. Nice, guys. 2 dead.
One shot.
He got me.
There's one elbow.
One just spawned.
No, they're long.
2 up. Make sure we get kills if we need to.
I want. Here's the back. See that? They're gonna go E1.
Bottom end, on their front base. I blew the snipe off the map. One's their elbow.
Where's he going?
I think you're good. There's no snipe. I blew it off the map.
Yo, our elbow, guys. Our elbow. Snipe us up.
Playing for a snipe.
Well, I mentioned how Lucid had to step up, hit some big headshots. It's exactly what he did. Went on that beautiful run, and Optic Gaming get a foot on the board here. It's 1-1, 1 flag in for them.
Surprise, it's Lucid again, 14-7. As you say, absolutely popping off in this game so far. 3 dead, though, for Optic. TriPPPeY was your last player alive. He will be taken care of. Here comes another SSG run, and this could be a heartbreaker for Optic if this next flag goes.
Worked so hard to get that flag in, and now you're going to go through Pznguin, who's got that snipe. Lucid taken down to no shields. Lucid taken into the death screen. He'll be having a little sleep himself as Pznguin's still alive. throws the sniper off the map smartly as well, meaning that Optic don't have any long range to stop this run. Eco will run it in, and having worked so hard, Optic, they find themselves now chasing the game once more.
And just as quickly as you thought this was going to be Optic Gaming back in this series, they're 3 dead again after that flag cap as well. Less than 5 minutes left on the clock. We were just tied up 1-1, and now the danger zone again for Optic Gaming. SSG in control of not only the scoreboard, but the map as well.
Bracket reset is looming here for both of these teams, and Bound, he slides out, he gets this one round the corner. Eco's got his cutoffs as well. StelluR picks up one. APG with a vital win for Optic to keep him alive, but can Bound beat him? Can he win this race?
Doesn't hit the drop side right away. That results in a flag fumble momentarily, and APG has a follow-up, gets the next kill as well.
What a play from APG, by the way. He might have just kept Optic alive in this game. Wins that BR fight, stays alive, comes back into it, and gets the return as well. APG putting Optic on his back.
I'll tell you what, if I ever need a favor, I'm calling APG. Unbelievable to win that battle from the bottom of his base, from the depths of the map, then wins another battle in the mid-map, then gets your flag returned and keeps your team alive. Still just down by 1 flag here, 3:55 left.
TriPPPeY gonna pick up the kill after the damage done by APG. 3 minutes 50, like you say, here to play with for Optic Gaming. Lots of time for them to work with. Lucid, oh my. Oh, no. Lucid's thinking, I've just hit us. Oh, I'm dead.
Cheeky reversal there coming in the stick. Of course, Bound hits an angle like that. 2 of the best players to ever play the game up against each other. You're going to get a guaranteed good battle just like that. Formal stays alive on the engagement.
That's the level you're playing at. You no-scope someone below you. If it's not a headshot, you're probably going to die. Ridiculous stick coming in from Bound, but Lucid's got that sniper rifle again. QT going to be here. Not sure they know where that port exits. Bound has no idea. Bound gets taken down. Where's that flag though? Is it still moving here for Optic?
Still moving, has not been returned yet. They're on the re now. Great work here from our reservers to jump right away on that flag, but there's no one there for the touch.
Optic going to instead choose to try and force their way through the screen side of the map. Bound trying to cut that off for SSG, as you can see on the player outlines. I've got to say, a little bit surprised that maybe Optic didn't go back in for that flag. Having worked so hard to get it out of the base, there was an opportunity.
We've seen this movie before. StelluR here with the sniper rifle in the late game. However, 2 of his teammates down. Can Optic continue converting here? Here they come for the pull.
StelluR has to hit some shots. It's StelluR versus Lucid. 2 dead here for Optic Gaming, as StelluR knows it. He's just trying to buy time for Bound to get back into the game. He does it. It's a ring around the rosy at the moment with Lucid, who cannot find him. And now that he's got a little bit of space, StelluR will survive and post up again with this snipe.
Lucid was your last player alive. If Lucid can come around here and flank, maybe still get a flag touch. It's still possible. However, he retreats. That flag should go back for SSG, and we will likely be both flags back at home with 2 minutes left.
2 dead though. 3 dead. StelluR now left on his own once more.
Oh no.
Doesn't even need to get the beat down. APG challenges. StelluR going to be lining it up. APG should be challenging, gets the kill as well. And Formal has a snipe. There's a chance here for Optic if they hit these shots.
Still 2 dead. They still have the advantage. Can they convert? That is the big question. Shots like that from Formal will help. 3 dead again for SSG. Optic Gaming poised to get a game-tying cap. Can they do it with 1 minute 37 left?
Formal spotted the overextension as well. Bound taken down. Formal in a great position to take down these respawners. Can't quite connect. But where is that flag? It needs to be moving here for Optic.
Haven't pulled yet. They're trying to get these kills first. Not enough kills. Trapped on the elbow, though. Here comes Optic Gaming.
1 grenade can take down 3 players here. Oh! Formal boots the door down, and surely now Optic have to swarm and get this flag moving.
Bound is your last player alive. They need the kill.
Flag is moving. Pznguin, though, he's there. StelluR with the nades as well. And just inefficiency from Optic in those final moments as Eco comes through. Optic 4 dead, and the flag sent back home. 1 minute left.
That flag comes back home on the sheer presence of Bound on the back stairs. There was not enough of a flood, not enough of a collapse from Optic Gaming. And somehow Bound and the spawner Pznguin will get the flag stop before it even leaves the base. 40 seconds left.
And now StelluR's flying forward. He said, okay, that's enough of our base, Optic. We're coming for yours. Eco's going to get the last kill. It's 4 dead for Optic, and wouldn't this be a kick in the guts for them to find themselves in a position to maybe tie this game up? Now you're having to defend your own flag.
Oh boy, look at StelluR.
Oh my god.
Repulses to stay alive from the grenade, also gets an angle from the skies.
Run it.
He's going to keep going with this.
forces it forward. Optic 3 dead, and it is going to be the case. It is going to be the horrible pill to swallow. As Former is last alive, it's just going to have to watch SSG.
Lucid gets a stop though. 6 seconds left, and this should be it here.
The clock will count down. Optic cannot get in position to pull that flag. Stopped on the line. SSG. They reset the bracket here in Fort Worth with a dominating 4-0 win.
And I think that about sums it up. Green Wall fans in the building, not pleased with what they've seen in the first set. You will see the Optic Gaming and SSG members exit here for a short break. And Mark, you mentioned it, we keep an extra energy drink on hand just in case the bracket gets reset. For the first time this season, those are about to get cracked open. Here's your stats from that final game of the first set. Spacestation will outslay 71-65.
Time for a bevy here in the caster booth. Grab one at home as well, because we got another series to get through between these two teams. But the first series was all SSG, a 4-0 series result. Stats in front of you. Eco leading the way in damage. Sorry, Bound. Bound leading the way in damage for his team. Lucid on the other side for Optic Gaming. He carved the path for them to get that flag, but the immediate, almost counter cap that came out of SSG was the final blow in that game and series.
Look at that series layout. That is devastating for Optic Gaming and Optic Gaming fans. And I think the only glimmer of hope that they have right now, as we take a look at some highlights from that entire series, is the fact that they have been here before, they've been reset by SSG, and the last time it happened, it still resulted in an Optic Gaming World Championship.
It's really crazy how history repeats itself sometimes. We've been in this situation before. The last time these two teams matched up, Halo World Championships, and like you say, bracket reset, there's no way that SSG have their momentum stopped. Well, if I'm a fly on the wall or I'm a man with a microphone, I want to go backstage right now and try and hear what's being said between the Optic Gaming members, because it needs to be a team talk which is as influential as that one that led them to the Halo World Championship.
This could be a very interesting episode of the process for Optic Gaming fans, depending on what is said backstage. Regardless, though, it will be a fantastic conclusion to the Fort Worth Grand Finals, as it will only be 7 games, potentially only 4 of them, separating these two teams.
That play from Bound is probably the most Bound play I've seen in quite some time. I mean, he looks up, he's like, go ahead. He's like, yeah, you. He's like, yeah, I stuck you. He's like, cool, see you in a bit. And that's kind of the conversation, how it goes down.
Look at this, Bound staying alive. Bound is your last player alive on the stairs, and it's a 3-man flood. Look at the nades that come in. Hang with the spawner. Bound stays alive the entire time. It can't happen if you're on the side of Optic Gaming. It can't happen. Bound, as that last player, needed to get flushed out. Optic Gaming fans not happy with the result, and also
part of history now, guys.
not being happy getting caught in 4K.